Hey everybody, welcome to eTrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2 bike platform here on our 2018 Toyota 4Runner. So this is going to be one of my favorite racks that we have here at eTrailer.com. The reasons I like it, it's pretty simple, it's effective, and I think it looks pretty good without being too flashy. So we have a lot of blue contact marks letting us know, or touch points I should say, letting us know exactly where we need to go to actually start modifying and utilizing our rack. And we also do have a front tire hold on here, and that, as well as its 60-pound capacity per bike, makes it an excellent carrier for a variety of different needs. Obviously, carbon frame bikes going to be A-OK on here, as we don't have any kind of frame holds. And to that end, if you do have any women's bikes, stepper bikes, or kids' bikes that have a little bit of issue with some of their irregular frames, we don't got to worry. As long as we have one good front wheel, we'll have an excellent time securing our bikes on here. All it does, simply push down, won't be popping up unless I actually hit that lever, but we'll kind of break that down later on. You can see we have a very decent cradle system here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our front platform to see how that works. So our front cradle can walk itself in, as you're seeing, stowed nicely out of the way. We walk it out, we got that 18C standard groove in there. It does widen quite a lot to about 4 7/8 there, as you can see, making it excellent for even something like fat bike tires. Why I say that as well, well, here on the other end, we're also going to have this oscillating wheelbase, rear cradle, which is great if you have any longer wheelbases, like your 48ers that are getting there, the mountain bikers that are getting really big. What's excellent, even if this is tilted like you're seeing, and our bikes are hanging off just a little bit, we have this whole backing plate, right, that really makes sure our bike is going nowhere. To that end as well, for your fat bike tires I was talking about, it'll come with a fat bike tire adapter already, albeit only one, but that's usually it's usually all we really need at home. And I just love that they're actually accounting for those bigger tires out there already, which is excellent. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this system, in my opinion, and I just do like how it looks and how it works. You can tilt that, kind of going that way, pull on this arm, and then you're nice and locked in. So overall, really decent system, and I just love how it works. One thing that's great about it too, we can actually tilt this away while our bikes are still on this carrier. To do that, we have a little blue handle underneath here. Pull that, tilt it away, pretty seamless. And now I can get access here to my hatch on the inside of my 4Runner. That's going to give me access to my bike helmets, coolers, anything else I might have here in the back of the 4Runner. Makes it really easy to run errands. We can just simply pull that out, get it tilted away, open our hatch, throw our groceries in no time at all, which is great. Gas station stops too, whether you're taking a long road trip or just driving up to the trailhead. Love that we have that access. And to walk it, simply support your carrier. It's going to lock in. Pretty hands-free, which is great, other than, of course, walking it up. No pins or clips, I guess is what I meant by that, of having to worry about refiddling with all those. It's nice and locked in. Well, before we get our bike off of our 4Runner, let's take a look and see how it's actually interacting here on the back of this guy. So definitely a little interaction here with this rear window. You can see our seat posts and our handlebars going to be impacting that vision. And as you get 2 and up towards to 3 bikes on here, that can definitely start being a limiting factor. However, almost any carrier out there is going to run into this problem. The 4Runner just sits a little high. We've got a lot here today that we tested on here, and kind of similar problem for a lot of carriers out there. And to that end, we do also have that backup camera. Going to be losing a lot of that visibility. I'm really interested to see how it looks when we have this in the stored position, because as you have 2 bikes on here, you're really going to lose out a lot of that visibility in that backup camera. But let's go ahead and actually start taking off our bike, see how hard it is to do so, which it's not. We simply walk up right here to our strip, press in on that blue lever, just like so, push that strap up. One thing I like about it too, you have those little eye holes, or the eyelets, I should say, make it really easy to cinch that down, even if your hands are cold or wet. Get that moved off to the side. That does bring us to our last hold here on our bike, so let's make sure we're doing a good job grabbing onto it. Don't want that tilting in our vehicle or ourselves to cause any damage. Simply press in on that lever though. That's going to allow our release to happen. Bring that up to the top, to the side, and now I can remove that bike. The biggest issue you're probably going to walk into mounting it is going to be that rear strap hanging like you're seeing it. What I like to do, take my rear wheel, pick it up, set it in place, and then start securing everything down. So really not too bad. Can almost do it really easy by yourself, which I love. Albeit I do have a carbon frame bike, so maybe a little heavier for us out there. But again, Really, really like how this system works. Now I can collapse it all, get it nice and low profile here on the back of the 4Runner, cinch it in. It is nice and secure just like that. So with our bike removed, let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the dimensions that we're working with and how it's interacting with our 4Runner. Here from the ground to the very end of my carrier, that's going to be our clearance. If we're going to be worried about those front wheels going up, the back will go down. So we're hitch mounted accessory. And we have about 27 3/4 of an inch clearance there. So in a really, really good spot. Don't think any of us are going to have any trouble at home. The biggest thing that I might actually be worried about is down here. And that's putting us at 17 1/4 of an inch. So that in itself is well enough out of the way. And that's way closer to our axle. Don't think we're going to have any interactions with the ground at all. Now, if you find yourself approaching a very steep incline, maybe take it nice and slow, but with both of those measurements, I think all of us are going to be in a good spot. Now, let's see how much length we're actually adding to our 4Runner. Already a little bit of a longer vehicle from the back of the bumper to the very end here today. That's going to be putting me right at 34 3/4 of an inch to the end of my carrier. Now, we're staying within 40 inches, which is great for a 2-bike platform rack, and we can quickly fold this up. Instead of tilting down, I'm going to utilize that handle to allow me to actually tilt this up. So, pulling that, instead of down, just walk it right up into position here. It's going to lock in and stay nice and secure. No rattle as you're going around. And these arms as well are secured by that cradle, so you don't have to worry at all about this making contact with the vehicle. So, love how that looks. Got that little RockyMounts in there. Starting to see that blue come through. And this position, too, it's a good time to show off. You can actually shift around your platforms here. So all you got to do, use those included tools, back off those screws right there, and then you can offset your platform. And that's great if you have very similar bikes that are starting to run into each other, or you can't quite get your bikes to fit on this carrier. You can shift it around until you actually are able to do so. So I love that we have just a little bit of versatility, which is great. On the end here, you are seeing the locking core. This also comes with a cable lock, allowing you to secure both of your bikes. Take this guy off, plug it in the post, re-secure your locking core, and therefore it's going to stay attached to our carrier when we leave it unattended. And that is also going to be key-like to our hitch lock here on the inside of our threaded anti-rattle bolt. We do have a 2-inch shank here today and our 2-inch hitch receiver. And on the inside of that, like I mentioned, is going to be that threaded anti-rattle bolt. Now, these guys are pretty standard across the industry, but you still love to see them. They're taking all that shake and play out inside of our hitch, bringing this all in line to one system. As you guys are going to see as I give this a shake, it actually shakes the entirety of the 4Runner, meaning we're in line with that frame. There's no shake and play, no loose rattle, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes. So we really do like the RockyMounts. I'm a big fan of it. It's just simplistic, and it works, and it gets the job done. Now, if you want something with a little more bells and whistles, you could look at something like the Kuat NV 2.0, but unless you really need those premium features and the clean look of it, I think the RockyMounts here is really the best bet in my mind for myself. One thing that's great about it, too, we do have a third bike extension available here at eachother.com. So if you want to expand your riding party out just a little bit more, you do have the capabilities of doing so. Overall, really big fan here of the RockyMounts, but I'll let you guys make that decision at home. One last little thing, let's check that offset of the camera. Probably still going to lose a lot in here. Now we have some open gaps where we could probably see any kind of large objects or structures in our way, but still, losing about 75% of that visibility is really going to be a hamper on our backing up capabilities. But that's going to be something you run into with almost any carrier. We do have a ton available here at eachother.com. The RockyMounts, definitely one of my pride and joys. Otherwise, though, I think that about does it for our look here today at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform rack here on the back of our 2018 Toyota 4Runner. I'm Bobby. Thanks for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.